Well, this is Richard C. Wilson of the Family Office Club, and I have with me here today Christina from. Welcome, Christina.
Thank you.
Great. So, can you tell us a little bit about your firm and what you do?
Our firm is headquartered in Silicon Valley, though we have offices throughout California. Today, I'm in our Aptos office, so the ocean is right outside of my window.
Cool.
Our client base is primarily focused in California. We have offices throughout California, as well as Western Nevada. That's expanding, given especially the tax environment we're in right now.
Right.
Our specialization was founded in 2007, and our specialization is on optimizing people's financial life, truly looking broad-based. And I know the word holistic is very, very overused in our profession, when true holistic planning is more of the term I like, which is financial consciousness. So consciousness in its base definition means awareness and understanding. So awareness and understanding on how all this disparate parts of your financial life and the rest of your life fit together and connect. So this kind of very broad-based planning that looks for it, because making an investment decision or a tax decision or a financial plan decision in isolation of the rest of your life rarely works out well.
Right, for sure. And there's not enough female wealth management executives. We try to book several to speak at our events and through our investor mandates, and there should be more, and I'm sure there will be in the future. As a female leader in the industry, how often are you finding that you're attracting a female client who wants to work with someone like yourself, versus do you find it has no impact at all? I'm just curious.
It does sometimes. I would say the connection is transcend gender. It really does my philosophy and my process resonate with a person that's talking to me? Is it There are certainly people, men and women and people of all genders, that prefer to work with someone who defines herself as a woman. That's definitely happens sometimes, but my client base is very, very balanced between all different.
Sure. And being based in Arizona, we have an office in Miami as well, but I'm curious, how often does Nevada come up versus Arizona when people are looking to get out of California?
Nevada is probably the one that comes up most often, just because of the geographic location. The fact that if you're in Western Nevada, it's a very short trip to the Reno airport and a 40-minute flight to downtown to San Jose airport. That's probably most. A lot of tech companies are looking at having offices there. I work for a lot of executives in the big tech companies here in the Valley, as well as smaller startup companies. And I will say that that's probably one of the biggest places. And Nevada, they see it. Their eyes are wide open, and they're doing tremendous things right now to prepare for that influx of people leaving California, including the two assembly bills that are currently in process here in California that will make a significant impact on taxes for people that are higher earners. And if the wealth tax goes through, people with a high level of net worth as well.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And I would guess, I could be wrong because you're in California, I'm not. I would guess that LA, San Diego might slant a little bit towards Arizona, and San Francisco might slant towards Nevada. But yeah, that's interesting. I appreciate the feedback on that. What are the types of unique investments or unique planning or types of real estate or alternative investments do you consider for your clients? Or are you a non-believer in all of that and you do everything passive through ETFs and indexes, et cetera?
Oh no, customization is key. Investing in real estate, investing in private equity, investing in startups, investing in traditional stocks, bonds, ETFs, everything is on the table. We only get paid by the client for services provided. So the client targets specifically what it is they wish us to do for them, and that's what we do. And we look at everything, because what's suitable for one is not necessarily suitable for another. And everything comes down to what is the cost in relation to the benefit and what works for that client's specific situation. So we have no bias whatsoever. And we definitely, we're open to everything. Because being in Silicon Valley, we do have a lot of people looking to diversify out of the stock market into other investment types, primarily because of the concentration they have already in the equity markets. But that's by no means all inclusive, because we also have many real estate developers and real estate driven clients, and they want to diversify out of having so much fixed assets. So definitely the bias. We have a lot of knowledge. We have a big team and a lot of knowledge and a lot of space.
Right. That's great. Makes sense. And are you finding that your clients are preferring companies, funds, and real estate assets that are local or hyper local to them, meaning they have to be on the West Coast or in California or in the Bay Area? Or does that just help when it is, but more often than not, they're not local opportunities?
It depends on what they're looking for. If they're looking for residential income properties that they wish to oversee or manage themselves as a landlord, they're going to tend to want them to be more local from the practicality standpoint of it.
Okay.
But if beyond that, when they're looking at larger deals, it makes no difference. A big area that my clients invest in is like large distribution warehouses, all right, which is done very, very well. In an environment where commercial real estate is a kind of a dicey proposition, there's a lot of risk out there. The large industrial warehouses, especially that are having the shipments of things being purchased online, have done well. And in those, the best thing to do is truly be diversified across the nation, across the country.
Right.
So much depends on the type of real estate and what the client wants to achieve as to where it's located.
Right, makes sense. Okay. Well, we have 700 or 800 members in the Family Office Club. Some are just getting started, and their track record is short. Some have a 20-year track record doing one thing and have served hundreds of investors. And then we have everything in between. We have billion-dollar plus firms as well. And we have everything in between. What advice or insight could you provide for those who want to connect, if it's not with you, with someone just like you in their local community, or someone who is just like you running a wealth management firm, where if they really built up the trust with you and got started with one investor, it might lead to opening up 5 or 10 accounts through the one relationship with someone like yourself? What insight would you have on, is it worthwhile? At what length of track record is it worthwhile? And, what would be the approach? 'Cause I'm sure you get approached by a lot of people pitching things.
It's twofold. So I want to make sure I understand your question probably, because I saw two pieces to it. One is how someone may choose someone like myself. The other one is how I would look at deals for recommending to my clients.
Right.
So for looking at deals to recommend my clients, the most important thing is that the risk profile of the fund or the investment lines up with the risk profile of that client's specific goal with that investment. That's number one. There are things that are risky and more speculative, but have a much greater, potential to make the client, a lot of money and be very successful. Other people are seeing real estate is they want a stable source of income. They want it to be there. They don't want any risk. So lining that is number one. Past performance matters, but it's not an all-inclusive thing. For an example, I look at the track record of the individuals, even if they're starting up a new investment pool. Some people with great track records can get cocky, can get foolish and make mistakes. And some people that are very, very new have a really great process. So really understanding that, but the most important thing is merging the two, and of course, complying with all the appropriate regulations about what we can and can't recommend to clients.
Right, makes sense.
Someone like myself or any other professional, and again, maybe I'm a little biased here because this is what we do. I think ask them how they're paid. I think is a very important thing to know. Is there a conflict? I and our firm are only paid by the clients for services provided, so we have no incentive to recommend an option A or option B. Our incentive is the client's happy and successful over a long period of time from a pure business perspective, right? So that I think would be number one is know that, because the advice coming to you is at least not clouded by a financial benefit. And the other one is, do they, as a personality, does their philosophy, their process, what they do, how they do it, do they connect with you heart and head? Because there are going to be times when the investments are not going to do what people think they're going to do. There are going to be times of great uncertainty. Look at 2020, great example of that. And if you don't have full confidence and full trust in that person and their capabilities, you're more likely to make a decision that could be detrimental to you at the time of that. So that trust, that confidence, that person, take the time. The location doesn't matter unless you want to physically be in the office. It doesn't make any difference. Again, we have clients all over the country, especially now. A lot of people have realized it really doesn't necessarily make a difference. So sometimes you'll come to see them when you're in town, and the rest of the time, everything will be do virtually and do through technology. So do be sure that their technology is capable to be able to do these types of meetings. If not only if this continues, but also if you just simply don't want to fly in or drive into the location.
Right. Makes sense. Okay, great. And what's the best place for someone to find out more about you and your team and get in touch with you?
Well, I don't have anything set up here to be able to share that, but the firm's name is
Okay.
We're located in San Jose, California. Hopefully you'll be able to put direct contact information if people have questions. If
Yep.
anyone has questions, if they want to talk directly to me and not someone else on the team, my name is Christina. I will answer your questions. You do not have to hire me. I'm well past the point in my career where I have to convince you to be a client of the firm. I'll get you pointed in the right direction. And my high purpose of doing this is one of the hardest things for me to see is people making a decision that they can't undo, and that is going to be devastating to them, or certainly, or suboptimal. And
Right.
if they just had a chance to talk to someone who is qualified and knowledgeable and cares, they may have made a different choice. So this is
Right.
I am here in service, and I will help you get you on the right path, whether or not you choose to hire us to do more work for you.
Sure, sure. Sounds great. Yeah. And I think that if anyone has trouble getting in touch with Christina, just let us know. We're happy to provide you your contact details and get you directly in touch. So appreciate your time here today, Christina, and happy to keep in touch.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Take care.